Hello, my name is Travis, and I'm doing a tutorial today on the pen tool. And I know what you're thinking. You either hate the pen tool or you love it. I started out hating it, and now today, with my job, I actually use the pen tool every day, and I love it. So, how do you guys feel? Leave a comment real quick right now down below and write, I hate the pen tool, or write, I love the pen tool. I'm really interested to see how many people hate it and how many people love it. So, just to get started, I'd like to let you guys know the shortcut key for the pen tool is P on your keyboard, and this is the pen tool right over here on the left, and in Illustrator right here, same icon. And the pen tool uses a system called paths, and paths are vector based, which means some crazy mathematical jumble about curves and Bezier. All you need to know is that when you do something with the pen tool, if it's on a path, or if you do something in Illustrator, which is all vector based, it just means it's a vector, and that means you can zoom in as much as you want and it won't lose its quality. So if you design a logo in Illustrator with the pen tool and it's a vector, you can basically size that up to any size you want, whether it be like a billboard or as small as a penny. It's going to maintain really good quality, whereas raster, if I zoom in really close here, you can see it starts to get pixelated. So the next thing is what can I use the pen tool for? Well, it's great for line art, it's great for logos, and you can also make selections from a pen tool. So here's some examples. They drew something, or they sketched it, and then they brought it into probably Illustrator, and they used the pen tool to sketch out, or to basically draw over their sketch with the pen tool, and then they filled it with some color. Here's another example with the same process. And this is a logo that I did with the pen tool. So I kind of made these curves out here and all that. So, and the last thing is just don't be afraid of it. So let's get started. I opened a new document, and I went ahead and select the pen tool here. And the first thing I want to note is that when you first select the pen tool, by default it's going to say shape. And what that means is as you're drawing, it's going to fill with whatever color you have set, and it's going to have a stroke with whatever you have set, and then the weight of the stroke, and all these other settings. So if I start drawing stuff out, it's filled with blue and has a pink stroke. But to really learn the pen tool, I think the best thing is to change this to path, and I actually work with just path pretty much all the time, because I'm usually just doing things like logos or whatnot, and I don't like that to fill with color as I'm drawing. So select the pen tool, and go ahead and just left click once and let go. This square is an anchor point, and this is basically where your shape is going to start, or where your path is going to start. And to basically start that line, if you want a straight line, you're just going to left click again somewhere else and let go. That's now a straight line, and you can left click again and then left click again to close it. And if you notice, if you highlight where you first started, you have that circle, and that means you're closing the path. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's left click and let go. So now this path is done. Now if I start clicking over here with another, it's going to start creating a second path. So let's go ahead and undo that. So we have this final path here, and what is this? What is this path? What does it mean? It's basically going to show up under here in the paths panel, and if you don't have paths over here, go to window and click on paths. So this work path here is selected, and that's what this black line means. If I click down here and deselect it, there's nothing. So let's select this work path, and now what can we do with this? With the pen tool still selected, you can right click inside this path, and you can do things like make selection. Let's do zero feather and click OK. And now it's a selection just like any other Photoshop selection. We can fill it. So let's go ahead and fill it with, let's say, a color of blue. Click OK. And now I'll deselect the work path over here. So now I have this blue triangle. And oh, one note, by the way, I'm working on this background layer. So if you fill a path like so, realize it's not creating a new layer for you. It's doing it on that layer. So if I click new layer and do fill path, and let's deselect the path, now my blue triangle is on a separate layer, and we can do whatever we want with it. So let's see what else we can do. Pen tool, right click in my path. We can stroke the path with anything, a brush, pencil, and we can also free transform the path. So this is pretty interesting. You can scale it up, move it around. You can even do warp, change it up a little bit. And now it's still the same thing. We can fill it with a color. You notice it still has that nice sharp edge. It's not getting pixelated because it's a path and it's vector based, which is awesome. Okay, so now what if we don't want straight lines and we want things that are curved? go ahead and click once to lay down your first anchor point, and then you're going to left click and hold instead of letting go. You're going to click, and then you're going to hold, and you're going to start dragging your mouse out in some direction. And what this is doing is it's creating these handles. So I'm going to, let's say, go right up here and let go. So these black handles are basically telling where this line is going to curve. So imagine these black circles on the handles are kind of like magnets, and it's telling the line, hey, I want you to kind of come towards me, but then it knows that it has to be magnetized back and end right here on this next anchor point. So let's say if I click down here and I let go, you notice it's curving along here, and it's kind of being pulled out towards this handle, and then it's coming down, and then let's go ahead and just close the path with a straight line. So now I've got this. Now let's say as we're working on this, right? Let's say we want this to come across here, but then we want to kind of arrange these. We want to move these handles. Well, you can just you actually have to click on right down here, direct selection tool. Okay, and then we're going to click over here, and now we can move these how we want. But if you notice, it's moving both of the handles all the way across. So basically, yeah, it's okay. It's not sorry, it's not moving the how long the handle is going to go out. But if you wanted to move this one down, it's going to move the other one up and affect how the line looks. So let's say we want this line to come way out here and then come back. What we would do is we'd pull this way out. So you notice the line is kind of being magnetized up towards that handle, and then it's coming right back down to the anchor point. Now this handle, because it's coming out, that's determining how our curve is going to look the next time we lay down an anchor. So if I click down here, I know that the curve is going to kind of come across here towards the handle, and then it's going to come down. Oh, I got to start from there. See? It's coming across and down. Well, what if we wanted to go from here and then we wanted to go straight down? We don't want it to be magnetized to this curve. If you hold Alt, you notice you get this little carrot looking icon, and now we can manipulate just this handle instead of both of them. So if I wanted to come straight down, I would basically move this right into the square, and then I click over here, now it's coming straight across. So the pen tool, I know it can be confusing, but you can do some really great artwork with it and logos. And I definitely will include this document right here. And what this does is it's some pen tool exercises, and if you just Google this or Google images it, you'll get this as well. But I'll go ahead and include the JPEG. And I really recommend you guys going through each of these. Just open up this JPEG in Photoshop, select the pen tool, make sure you're on path, and just go through some of these exercises. So let's go ahead and just do one real quick. It's saying click here, click here, click here, and you notice these are nothing but straight lines, and it shouldn't be too difficult. And then we're going to close it, and boom, now we have a star. With a circle, you're going to click, and if you hold the shift key, that's going to create straight lines or 45-degree angles. So it's a straight line, and it's saying drag to here and release. And the reason why they're telling you to do that is because the next time you make a line down here, we want it to curve and magnetize to this handle, and you'll notice it will do that. And now if we come up and we hold shift, you see I'm going to line up the line with the circle and let go, and let go, click and drag, let go, and then finalize it, and there we go. Now we have a circle, and we'll choose the path selection, and you can see here's our circle now. So one thing I'd like to go over real quick is just some quick shortcuts. So let's say we want to make a fluffy cloud. What we do is we click once, and we click and hold and drag, and let go. Now basically we want this to come down here, but then we want to go up again to create the next little fluff. Well, if we just click over here to do that and start doing it, it's all messed up, and it's because of this handle. So a shortcut, if you hold Alt and you click here, it's going to basically snap this handle. I mean, you can always click and just drag it in there with Alt, but if you hold Alt and you click this, it's going to automatically basically get rid of that handle. There's no longer even a handle. If there is one, it's all the way snapped into here, and now we can click, hold, and drag and make our next little fluff. Same thing, hold Alt, click inside. And I think this exercise that I'm going to include does go over this kind of method as well, holding Alt and clicking in. Okay, so let's say we finished our cloud and now we're like, man, this looks great, but I see a problem area and it's like right here. You know, maybe over here I want to add one more fluff, but I've already finished my path. So what do? Come over to paths, make sure it's selected, and then come down here and click and drag, and we want direct selection tool. We can just click right here, and now we can actually manipulate anchor points, and we can manipulate handles. But we don't have another, we need another anchor point basically, so we kind of need to move this anchor point down here, and then we want a fluff to come right here, and we need another anchor point there. So underneath the pin tool, there's an add anchor point. Let's go ahead and add an anchor point, and you notice it only shows up when you're over your path that you're working on with a plus sign. So let's click, and now we've added this anchor point. But now we need to basically adjust these handles to create that that fluff. And if you notice, see, this is what I was talking about earlier, it's affecting both. I want this to kind of come out like this, but it's affecting this one. So let's put this one back to right there, but then if we hold Alt, we can only affect this one. And there we go. So now we have this how we like it, and now we can, with the pencil selected, we can do right click inside and do certain things with it. The other thing you can do is you can hold Control and hover over your path here and click on it, and that'll make a selection as well. And then you can come over and create a new layer and do any other Photoshop function to it. Shift F5 to fill it with a color. And I think that's about it. So hopefully you learned a little bit about the pen tool and basically some shortcut keys. And like I said, I'll definitely include this document and just go over some of these exercises, and it'll really kind of get your brain working on how the pen tool works, and definitely start using it. And really quickly, just to show you guys in Illustrator, it's the same thing. If you're drawing with the pen tool and you have a fill, it's going to automatically start filling it with whatever fill you have. So you can go ahead and make this fill none and make the stroke none, and then it's basically just like we were working with nothing but a path. And then you can close it, but then you can go in and adjust the fill, and you can adjust the stroke, color, and size. So it's the same thing in Illustrator, except Illustrator is working with nothing but paths, and then you can, it's a lot easier to come in and modify. Here's the direct selection tool, just like in Photoshop, and we can direct select paths, we can adjust the handles, we can adjust the anchors and move them around. And that's about it, guys. So like I said, let me know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.